And now the integration, which is basically another summary of what we've done. We've done the 3 outer strategies and the 3 inner strategies, and they interconnect. And they have been very helpful for me in my life to turn my life around and make me much more confident with regards to being able to protect my animals, and also being able to make a connection with people around me, to have a team around me that we all go into the right direction. And also, it is such a beautiful thing to focus on win-win situations instead of just trying to defend yourself, to focus on how we can all win. For all of those of you who are not quite convinced that other life is just as important as humans, and you think humans are the best, and you have children or desperately want them, you're not excluded. This is not a course that is against families. This is not a course that is against humans. This is a course that includes everyone. It is supposed to be good for humans. It is supposed to be good for all life. And once we support all life, I truly believe that it will be absolutely beneficial for us humans as well. Maybe some of us don't see that yet, but this is not something to exclude you. This is something to include you. As shown in the Claire Graves model, this philosophy really includes everyone. Now, there's a final thought, which I've alluded to, what Buddha said before. And I think this is a really interesting way of looking at things, because the Buddha apparently said that he can remember all his lives since he was an amoeba. Now, he didn't go from amoeba directly to human being, right? He went from amoeba through different stages of different animals to human being. Now, what if the Buddha isn't the only one? What if that is the normal state? The Buddha was just a lot faster than the rest of us, or started earlier, whatever you want to believe. The logical consequence would be that the animal you see today could be the soul of a human being tomorrow, of a human baby tomorrow. So how do you want to treat that animal if that is a human baby tomorrow? With some of those theories and those spiritual teachings also teach that there is karma, that there is a certain memory that we take from previous lives. So the way you treat that animal will determine also what karma they have to work off in their next lives, right? Isn't that a beautiful way to think of it as well? Especially if you maybe don't have children, and maybe you wanted children but it never happened. Or maybe you didn't want children, but you do have those pet children, those little furry babies now. What if it's all the same? It's just different stages of development. And I find that a really, really beautiful way to look at this. If I look at my animals or look at animals outside, this connection that we're feeling, it is such a beautiful thing. It is such a beautiful closeness to everything. And if you think of it that way, then the service you do to animals right now is by no means worse than the service of others to humans, just as the service to children is by no means less than the service to adult human beings, which is kind of the same thing then, right? So I thought that was a really beautiful thought. That was something that I heard from, I don't know, one of the spiritual teachers a while ago. And I wanted to leave you with that. And we've got a few bonuses. As I already said, one of the bonuses is how to not travel with your cat, because I've done that before as well. That was actually recorded before I did this whole caravan thing, after I went to Canada, basically. There are a few things that went wrong, so I wanted to share them with you. That was a little bit of a fun thing. There's further reading material, masterminds, workshops, the Facebook group. There's also the course that I told you about that could come. I think I also put a video that kind of explains the Aeon. The Aeon is a sci-fi story that I wrote, I think, 2005 sometime. I was living near Stonehenge, and weirdly enough, it is kind of a fantasy story where a tree has a central role and there's this whole oneness thing. And I had never done spirituality in that way before. So it was kind of weird that I came up with that book, you know, right next to Stonehenge. But anyway, so it is a kind of a fun story, especially if you don't want to go to personal development events, because it is a little bit of a personal development story within a fun adventure, where you can also find this Gurkha strategy. You can find how the central character basically came himself to the Gurkha strategy and to the leadership role. It is a little bit of a fun way to maybe avoid personal development events if you don't like them. Some of them do, some of them don't. I love them, but I came to them very late as well. So maybe that is a good strategy for you. Then thank you very much for coming. I really do appreciate. I hope you enjoyed this course and that it gave you something that really helps you in future. That will be my wish, and I wish that it will also help the animals that you want to protect. Let me know your comments. Join the Facebook group so we can support each other. And I'd love to see you there, but if I never see you again, God bless you. And rise up and come out. It's never been a better time for that. I love you. I appreciate you. God gave you caring and love for a reason. He or she or Gaia or whatever you believe it gave you. In your unique way, you can make a difference. And it is time to make it. Don't hide your light. Let it shine. Let us create a new world, one of more inclusiveness and compassion towards everyone, all life, together. Join us, be yourself, and live full out.